Fortress with my favorite game. It is Dwarf Fortress, and it's been a little bit since I played. I haven't played the new Siege update, but I wanted to get back to it and see how much I remember. So I've started a new fortress, which is pretty much what I always do, because I always forget like where my other fortress was when I left it off the last time. And this time I've picked like a pretty easy area. So you have a new chapter in Dwarf history begins with Heimlocked, which is apparently the name of the place that, at least I don't know what the first Zumthek. So we will strike the earth and see what's going on. All right, so we start out. Whoops. I think I want to zoom a bit. Can I zoom in? If I remember how to, I just hit this button. There we go. Make things a little bit bigger. All right. So we started in an area. You just have everything in the wagon. You can click on it now, you know, with the Steam release, you can click on it and see all the stuff that you brought with you. Basically everything you need to get started. You're going to have the more critical things being the pickaxes, and we do have battle axes and stuff, but that's not that important. The anvil is really important because it's difficult to get an anvil. If you do not have one, you'd have to trade for it. Yeah, so we have everything there. We have some step stools too, so that means that we can go and pick fruit off the trees. So when you start out, the main thing to look for is where you want to build your base. That's obviously the core of the fortress part of the game. And luckily enough, I didn't plan this at all, but we have this like opening here that I usually like to choose. If you look at it, it's got this kind of closed off fort-like area, so I don't have to like build that. And I also like building into the, make my mouse not so sensitive. I also like to build into a mountain because I feel it gives me a little bit of safety and I can manage it a little bit better instead of just like putting it in the middle of nowhere. Just like digging down from where you start. That I do not find I enjoy so much. So what do we also have? We want to take a look at what else we have around here. We have a lot of stuff that we can eat. Leeks, lettuce, rope reeds, which are pretty good. I believe rope reeds can make, I have to look up exactly what it is again. But I know that if I can, I think it's rope reed that I can build, what is it called? Clothing with. Not like good clothing, but at least some clothing. If we have hemp, that can allow us to make hemp oil, which is really useful. There we go. Hemp right here. I love looking for this, and you want to build a farm, like a small farm with this, because it's such a useful plant in the game. You can, you know, build clothes with it. You can get food with it. You can build clothes with it. You can get oil. You can make paper. Pretty much you can do everything with hemp. So if you find some hemp, really good to go and gather that up. And then you build an outdoor farm with it, so I can put it like somewhere over here. And then we're gonna, with that, I should be able to have quite a bit of resources. Underneath here is clay, which is fine. And then in here is going to be a peat wall, so this isn't going to be a rock wall. Oh, well, we are going to have some rock. So I like to just start out. We're going to dig our little hole in here. So you want to have a little bit, let's see. Let's do this. I think we need a 4, or is it 3? I think it's only 3 that you need for the travelers. So we're going to do 3. Put there. You don't want to build too much at the start because you're going to lock your workers. So let's just build enough so that we can get our stuff we can get ourselves out of the wilderness because we're kind of sitting here like sitting ducks. Do I only have one pickaxe? Is that what I embarked with? Is that the default embark? I usually don't. No, I have two. So we just need... Where is the labors? All right, so can I have more miners? Yeah, I can have more miners. I only have one selected. That can be a bit slow. So you can come in here and choose another thing. So we have, woodworker. That's going to cut down stonecrafter. I think we can take the stonecraft. No, Fisher dwarf. I mean, that's not super useful. So either one of these is probably fine. I'll just take the stonecrafter because they're going to be doing something similar. Now I have another stonecrafter to go and make this a little bit faster. There's a little bit of waiting in the early parts of the game, but not a lot of waiting once you get into it. Let's see, we have a rough hematite wall, and we're into clay, stone, peat. I think peat you can plant on, I believe. I would need to, maybe, can I build I forget all of the hotkeys, so I may have to remember them. So if I want to build, what is it? We'll go B, so workshops, BO, farming, and then farm plot is P, and I put you no mud soil. Yeah, so I can build a farm on the peat, and I can't do it on the clay. So this area I can put my farm for plump helmets. Plump helmets are the best thing to start out with, just because they're really versatile. They grow every part of the year inside, and you can protect them really easily, really nicely. So while that's going on, we're going to need some wood. That is a core resource. So you can just designate an area for the chopping. And then the next good thing to do is we can gather plants. And this will give us an initial set of food. So I definitely want to highlight grabbing all of the hemp so that I can gather that together and start my little hemp farm. If you do that, you can, I think if you click the plant, I think I have to use the plant to get the seeds out of it. But eventually I'll get hemp seeds. I'm not seeing, my mouse moved myself a little bit too far. I'm not seeing a whole lot of options. I'm not seeing a whole lot of hemp around, but let's just gather all of this. Like, there's not a lot of it. You have to grab what you can. And what kind of trees do we have? Willow. Some of these apple. So apple I'll be able to harvest. Some of these bayberries. So some of these I'll be able to harvest later on in the season. They'll start to drop things down, and I can designate, you can designate an area for just constant capturing of foods. All right, so we have a little bit of an area dug out over here, and then let's make another area, dig out a regular hallway. I'm going to build out this area, this farming area, maybe to be a little bit safe. No, I'm just going to do it. Forget it. No, I'm just going to build out the farm really simple. And then I will, if I need it to be more safe, I can block it off later on. So we'll put out a couple plots for the farm. And then we need a little bit of workshops to get started. We do want to have a carpenter. That's going to be pretty important. And the carpenter is going to make our initial furniture. So people tend to enjoy sleeping in beds at the start of the game. And we need to give that to them. The mason can also do some good stuff, I think. And I think the other thing we need is brewing, because we need to have our alcohols. There's a core core resource. So I think that's under farming, and then the still is where we can do that. So put that down there. And then we can get going with the basics of what we need. And then eventually we're going to have to dig down. That's going to be kind of an annoying process. It's always a little bit annoying to dig down because you're going to run into an aquifer and then you have to run through this process to correctly build around the aquifer. We're going to collect our food. I don't have a place to store it yet either. But that'll be stored, I guess, over here. And then I can put out a little stockpile once I get going. It should be fine for the early parts of the game. But you do kind of have to think about everything in this game. That is the way it is. So I just need them to go do their work. What's this? Red sand. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to do to take this. You know, I'm not really sure where I'm going to go with this this fortress here. Not exactly sure the direction I want to take it. I know that one of the big challenges for me has been figuring out a way to get magma to the surface. So spoiler alert, you can drag. If you go all the way down to the bottom of the game, or the bottom of the map, you get to run into magma. And then magma can be very useful because it can be used in your forges. You can build magma forges to do everything. So you have a problem where now you have the magma fuel source at the bottom, right? And then your fuel source is down there, but all your workshops up there. So you can either make everything down at the bottom and then drag it all up to the top, or you can try to get the magma to the top, which is its own complete mess. I've never been able to do it because I've never been able to like understand. You can put these like this structure of pump stacks up like 200 things, and then it ruins your frames per second and so on and so forth. I don't really like doing that, but I do need a fuel source, so we'll try to figure out a way to get it to the surface eventually. But we are not there yet. We do not even have farming set up. So let's go build and workshops. No, workshops is O, and then farming, and then what was farm plot? P. That's too many. That's too many. I need the hotkey. I need like an overlay with the hotkeys. I'm sure that's part of it, but I don't know how to do it. So we're going to put down an initial plot. You don't actually need it to be too big. We're going to put that initial plot down for our, what's it called? Farmland. And that will build. And we'll add a task to make some beds. Let's make 5 beds. Well, 7 beds. Let's just make it for everyone. We'll make the beds. All right, so we have some area now. We can also dig out some space. I think I want to start to have a little stockpile area. And this is just for all the stuff we're collecting. We want to at least have a place for it to go. And get out of the cold. So this area isn't going to be where I build my final base. You just need like an initial plot of land to get everything done. Because you want to have your dwarves be safe dwarves, not danger dwarves. You don't have many to start out with. You really don't have. Honestly, this game, people think that this game is really difficult, and it is. Like, there's a lot to look up. There's a lot to know. But if we're talking about like how brutal is it? I mean, it's not that brutal. Like, you can start out a game and know nothing and still get like 3-4 hours of playtime at the very least, before you'd probably, forget something and die. Like, you'd have like 3 to 4 hours to figure out if, like how to gather plants. Even if you can just gather plants early on in the game, and you'll be able to sustain yourself for like, plenty of playtime to learn through. So it's punishing in that it can punish mistakes really hard. But if you're looking at like playtime and like energy and like learning, if it's a game that if you like learning how to play games, you have plenty of time before you have to start over because you've made a mistake. And after you get over the initial hurdles of just how to build things, you're looking at like 20 hours of playtime each fortress. So yeah, you always eventually are probably going to lose your fortress, but you're going to have a good time in the meantime. And it's always exciting to restart and make a new one, in my opinion. All right, so we have our beds, and we're going to build those and just place them. I'm just going to use the closest and then keep building after placement. So if I click on this, then I get to place beds without having to go into the menu again. I'll put them out here. So that's what, that's 7. All right, so they'll come out, someone will come out, place a bed with the construction job or the hauling job. I don't remember which one it is. Now their beds are placed. And they're just going to be free beds. I'm not going to make like a dormitory or anything. We get more specific as we have more resources. So one of the things to do is they're hanging out outside because they don't really recognize that there's like an interior place to hang out. I think this is going to be the stockpile, so I'm going to make we'll make a little area just to get them out. And we can make this a little gathering point. Let's extend this over here. Here we go. So they're sitting out there. If it rains, they get unhappy. I guess they are idle. So one of the sort of cheats that I always do, you don't necessarily have to do this, but I like to I like to consolidate all the rocks. And it is not a manual, it is not a automatic process. So we need to create a garbage dump. And garbage dumps are pretty much infinitely stacking. So you can put as much garbage as you want in one tile. That's kind of the cheat. So we've created the dump. So this is, I guess we can name it like floor, or what would we call it? Surface dump, CE dump. And then that will be assigned. And then we go into orders or designations, designate an item for dumping in a dumping zone. Dumping zone is a garbage area. And dump all of these things. Actually, it'll just automatically select the right stuff. So this will dump everything for you and all your doors will come in and they'll dump everything into this center area. It'll then forbid it so that it won't be available to use ever again unless you undo that, which we will do. So that's this button. Forbidding, you can forbid or unforbid things, and we will unforbid that after they're done moving it, so that we can still use the stuff that we have now somewhat cheated and consolidated into one spot. Now, the interesting thing is this does help you a little bit. Everything is calculated with like temperature and stuff. So there is some optimization in the game, but like largely the less things that you have, the less calculations that need to be done. You can save your frames per second there. One thing I do like to do, and I would recommend, is going into the settings and then changing how many dwarves can come into your initial, I don't remember where it is. I think it's over here. Let's see. Restricted traffic path cost, add visitor. Yeah, so visitor cap. Leave that, because they're just visitors. We really want to make cap the number of, where is it? I want to cap the number of dwarves because that can scale really fast, and you can get way more dwarves and they can be very unhappy because you don't have population cap. Wow, 5,000. Holy crap. All right, we're gonna do 75 for now, and that will save you. I think it's only until you get to like, I think it's like 80 or 90 or something before you get your first sieges. So if you cap it at 75, you'll never get attacked, I think. And if I'm wrong on that number, it's another number. But there's a population limit before you get attacked by enemies from the outside. And if you set that, you'll be safe. You'll also be safe from like an explosion of things you need to build, because all your dwarves are going to want things. They're going to want rooms and stuff like that. And you're going to have to build like 100 rooms for 200 dwarves, because they do pair sometimes, so you can get away with about 100. But that can get really tedious and overwhelming, and you can go up to that. But a lot of the time it's hard to scale as fast as the game gives you things to scale with, because they also want work to do, and then they're idle, and then they're unhappy because they're idle. So I would recommend, and that's what I'm going to do, is just cap the population and just enjoy that part of the game. All right, so we're moving all of our stuff in here. Then we're going to create in here one of those spaces so that we can gather. So we will call this the meeting area, and we'll just place it over here. And now all of our dwarves will come into we'll call it surface hall. And there are a number of different gathering areas. The meeting area is just a generic one. It's a good one to have. They will try to prefer coming in here. Your animals will come in here. They will take their animals, right? So this is a problem, because the animals will no longer be able to graze inside. They'll just sit in here, which is annoying. So the other thing we want to do, our dog is deciding if he wants to be annoying or not. He's just wandering around at the moment. So we're going to create a pen or pasture that will keep all of our animals. Not the most recommended way, because you can get like fights and stuff, but just for now, I am going to create a pen there. Click on that, and then we're going to assign our animals. So the yak needs to be out there, the camel needs to be out there, the water buffalo, reindeer. These other ones can stay inside. Okay. Right, so we have our farm plot built. So let us build some plump helmets. Plump helmets, and then plump helmets. All right, this will get us started. This will get us started building, getting a food source down that is reliable and repeatable. And then we can also start working on our stockpiles. These are another core part of the game, where I'm going to create our stockpile of, let's say, one stockpile here. This will be not food. So we'll customize this. I'm going to put everything except food. So no food. And finished goods is fine. Furniture. Yeah, I think all that's fine for now. Well, I don't need stone. Don't need wood. No, come back. Ah, dang it. All right, let's try this again. All. Undo food. Damn it. All. No stone. No wood. No food. Okay. So these will just be, this is our like items stock file. And then we want our food stockpile. Click stockpile. This will be for food. I always do custom because I like to know exactly what I'm putting everywhere. And eventually I like to, spread out some of this stuff. But for now, we're just going to put all of our food in here. Actually, except for drinks. I'm going to put drinks separate because drinks are pretty important. So we'll just do, can I name it? Main food. And then another one over here. And this was going to be main drinks. Custom, finished good. No, not finished good. All plant drinks. All right. I forgot another rule. You'll go over here, custom, take seeds out. No seeds in here. And then we'll put a stockpile near our, get the stockpile button. You're gonna put a stockpile of, let's put it where we can't actually use. So this is gonna be seeds. And the important thing with seeds is that they do not, because you're gonna have to walk back, they walk back and forth to plant stuff, and that can take a lot of time. And you also just want to know where all your seeds are because it can be really annoying to find them. So stockpiling can help with that. So we're going to, what do we got? We're food, seeds, all seeds. All right. And then seeds, hopefully I have the stuff that I need. Oh, we have some. All right. So we have someone fishing out some stuff. We have some raw pond turtle, lettuce leaves, all this good stuff. What do I want to do? I think I will build a fishery just because we have farming. Fishery processes raw fish into edible food. So we will put that there. And they'll build that out so that we can make use of these turtles that we have. We also have our plump helmets growing. And then I don't know why they do this, why I have to go set this. There is a lot to know. There are a lot of mistakes you can get. I do recognize that, but I do still love the game anyway. All right, so I need to get the kitchen rules, which is where? I forget. Kitchen. All right. So we want pigtail seeds. This is restricted from cooking. So plump helmets, they are not restricted from brewing or cooking, which is good. We want that. But plump helmet seeds or plump helmet spawn, which I guess I don't have yet. Dimple cup spawn. All right. I'll have to check, but at the moment, I think we have it. Yeah. All right. So great. So we're still in the early parts of the game. What happens is you get a plump helmet, and then the plump helmet, you process it or eat it or whatever, and it comes into plump helmet spawn. That spawn is used as a seed because it's a mushroom. It's not a seed really, but yeah, same thing in terms of the game. And if you cook with that, then you'll have none of them left. And earlier, I remember, I don't know if they've changed it, but earlier, so I'm going to unlock everything now that I captured. But earlier versions of the game, that was not a default setting. So you would lose your plump helmet spawn and now no longer have your food source, which was wonderful. A wonderful discovery to make. And I'm gonna make some barrels. So I'm gonna add a work order. Oh, I need a manager to do that. Okay, so I'm just gonna add. Okay. Come back. Add a new task. Barrel. Make a wooden barrel. Barrel. So there's an easier way to do this. Very much easier way to do this, but I haven't assigned him yet because I need to build. I need my manager. So my manager is going to allow me to create jobs, and jobs will make it so I don't have to keep doing all of this work to make stuff happen. So that requires a manager requires that I place a room for him. I'm placing a room for him. Placing a room for the manager is something that it's kind of annoying, so I like to do it. I like to place the manager down where I actually build my fortress. So to get there, we're going to dig down and create a stairwell. I like to create at least a 2. Well, because I think you can get blocks, so I like to create like a 2. What am I trying to say? I like to create more than 1 block of stair for the main area. So we have to dig down. We're gonna dig down. We're probably gonna find an aquifer. Then we have to do a particular thing to make sure that the aquifer doesn't mess with us and doesn't continually drip water down. It's a bit annoying, I'm going to be honest. I don't necessarily like that I have to do it, but nonetheless, I have to do it. All right, so come and do the work, friends. Gotta wait for them. The way that water works is if I imagine this correctly, water won't go down. If you have a tile with water, it won't go down if you have a wall underneath the tile with water. Or no, the wall will hold the water. So you need to create a wall that goes from above the groundwater all the way below the groundwater. So you have this like column of wall that will hold the water back. Otherwise, the water will just continue to pool and then drip down into your fortress slowly, and then you'll just have water in your fortress. Okay, it looks like we are preoccupied with taking everything and then moving it into the stockpile, which I should have predicted. And I think that's just going to take a little bit of time. So until the stockpile fills up, we are just going to be here waiting. And my dog is going to be here walking around looking like he doesn't know what he's doing. There we go. Are we going to sit down? Are we going to sit down? Yes. Good. Or maybe I'll give him a... Put a little blanket over him. It looks like he might settle, so we will take that. All right, so we're waiting for everyone to place everything. It's really neat that... no, I cannot zoom like in other games. It's really neat that you can kind of look in and see what's in each barrel. I love doing this stuff. I don't like... Okay, I have to right-click to close. So this is our meat barrel and our fish barrel. We got a lot of fish. Plant barrel. That's our plump helmets. Got a lot of leaves. All the leaves that we got Do I have the hemp? Where did the hemp go? Where did my hemp go? I should be able to find it if they gathered it. Looks like it's gone. Does that mean that they took it? Is there any more hemp? It's like a critical resource. So I like to gather it early. There's another one. Where are you? Gather. Okay. I don't know what they would have done with it otherwise. I think that's it. All right, you. I'm gonna follow you. No. Whoa. Wrong button. Follow. All right, we're unpaused and we're following. We're taking a look. So like this page is really awesome. You can like the game doesn't do the best job of showing you everything that's going on. You do have to look for it a little bit, but like you have all these pieces of information, like everything that they're doing for the day, they will remember. Look, she felt satisfied remembering work. So she had some experience feeling satisfied at work, and then later on, say, oh, I enjoyed that. And that felt good. And then you can have things like she was annoyed after having a drink without using a goblet, cup, or mug. So now that they're unhappy because they don't have mugs, which is unfortunate, and I don't actually know how they're drinking. They're just like sucking it out of the barrel or something. And they have personality, values, just every single dwarf has all of this. And this is all going on. They have relationships, memories, Spring being satisfied at work. And then I should be able to see what they're carrying, but I'm not seeing it. You're holding a copper battle axe. Usually it's in items. Let's see if we're the right hand. Usually it's, where is it? Or can I not do it this way? All right, well, let's see. Where do you end up going here? Did you not gather? Do you actually not gather the plant? Was there like a critical miss or something? All right, there is a way to check my stocks. Which is, again, I'm terrible with menus and remembering where everything is. It's a lot of things to manage. So that's zones, task, creatures, it's stockpiles. Is it just objects? Nope, not objects. Where is it? It is somewhere here. Location, stockpiles. It's not stockpiles. Oh, it's right there. And I don't have anyone doing all of my stocks. So let's see if we have hemp. We do not have hemp. Where do I have all my plants? Plants? Okay, maybe it's in food. Where is it? Leaves and fruit. Okay. Somehow did not gather Somehow did not gather hemp. Gather hemp. Why are we not gathering hemp? There's some more of it. There's some more of it. What else? We got some over here. Do I just need like more chances at it? Oh, I can't get over here. Can't get over here because I don't have a bridge. All right. Well, there's some over here. There's another one. It seems tedious, and it is, but I cannot express to you how important this material is to have. It makes everything so much easier if I can just get some of it. And I wonder if it's just that, like, I don't know, they just like critical missed and didn't get the hemp. You know, is there like a not 100% chance that you correctly gather the plant and you're inefficient at it? So let's see if you do it. Follow you, items. Come on, there we go. Where are you going? Oh, you can walk across that. All right, so he's got the hemp plant. I don't think you can eat it, so I shouldn't have to worry about it too much. And he's going to put it back somewhere useful. Yes, now we have hemp. Okay. We have hemp in our stocks. This is good. This is what I wanted. All right, so we have some activity here. There we go. All right, so what happened when you go down, there's no aquifer here, but this, you see how this is now here and there's a gap? I'm going up and down in layers. So we're going up, down, vertical. So we have our initial layer, down one layer, missing, down another layer. I specified that there should be something here. And the reason that it's not is because we ran into our aquifer. So what we're going to do is this annoying process that you have to continually repeat. See, it specifies that this is we have found out that there's water here and we do not want to continue to mine, but if I do it again, they'll go and they'll place that down. All right. So this area now is leaking water and it'll go to everything below it. They're going to find again that there is more aquifer. So we have to do this again. And we just have to continue to do this until we find out that there's no more aquifer. But you don't want to do too far because you don't want too much water to pool before you can manage it. All right, so now up here, this is the first aquifer layer. We need to mine this out, mine that out, mine this out, mine this out. And what we're going to do is build a wall in here. So we need this to happen. We need to make a column of walls around all of the aquifer. So if you have an aquifer on, like if this becomes wet, it'll drip down to the space below it. So like right now, we already have a little bit of water happening. If I fill this with wall, it'll hold it back and then it will not drip from the top down below. This is also dripping from the sides. So you just have quite a bit of time before this becomes like too much of a problem. And like dwarves can't mine on too much water, but you have a little bit of time to work with. So we're going to build, let's see, constructions, wall. And we're just going to tell it to use, it doesn't matter what the material is. We're just going to tell it to do this and then run into the next annoying part, which is sometimes they don't do this in the correct order and they block themselves out of placing a wall where they can build themselves into the wall. A lot of things can happen that are annoying. So hopefully, because water can go diagonal, it can go diagonal, so we do have to fill in these spots. But you cannot, okay, so you cannot place, I already made the mistake. All right, this is annoying. I can understand if this would make you not want to play the game. We have to undo. All right, so if I undo that, I'll be able to build there. If I undo that, I'll be able to build there. So we have to deconstruct the wall that I built because I made a mistake. Now we have to resume construction on the edges of the wall. That has to happen first because it's a tight space, or just in general. All right, now we go and we build our constructions again and put the wall here. Now you might be saying that's ridiculous. Why do you have to do that? I agree with you. And just some things you have to live with. If you want to play the world's greatest game, you cannot be too picky about the details. All right, so that's built. Doing the same thing below. This process can take quite a bit of time. It is my least favorite part about starting a new one, but once you do it, you only have to do it once. So we place you, place you, place you, place you. Okay. Make sure that the corners go in first. There we go. And then we place the rest of the wall and then go down again. Dig this out. So we are gathering a little bit of water. This can be an issue if it grows a little bit too fast. Then we can't actually use this area. So hopefully I'm able to do this quickly. Constructions, wall. Place wall, place wall, place wall, place wall. We have to do this until we're below the aquifer, which can be quite a number of layers deep. If you want to skip this part of the video, I will not blame you. That's taken care of, and then we can go and we can go down another step and find out that we have more aquifer to deal with. So do that, and then we will dig this out. That's getting placed down. There we go. Next section. Still have aquifer. Eventually the aquifer will go away. I have to redo this because they found aquifer and they don't want to dig into wet rock. Eventually you get through it. No matter how many tens of layers you have to deal with, you will eventually get through the construction of your wall. Place this. Command. I definitely get impatient with this. It is not my favorite part of the game. I understand all the mechanics. I understand, why it's important, and I understand things that you can do with it that are really cool. But I still have to do this process, and it's annoying in a game where most other things are automated. But that's just Dwarf Fortress. Eventually, we will get through the many layers of aquifer, and they'll be useful for us because we can use this aquifer to build ourselves a little well, and we can funnel water down into an area that we control, and have water for our citizens without them having to go anywhere, which makes them very, very happy. So one of the interesting things about water is that, the aquifer will pool based on the surface area of the wall. So the number of walls that have been cut out will generate a certain amount of water. So you have this like pool of water. Then you can build a channel that funnels all that water down, which generates pressure. So you could, if you didn't do it correctly, you can have that water get pushed up into the rest of your fortress, which is a problem that you can't really solve too well. But you can, what was I going to say? The way to mitigate pressure is by making the water go in a diagonal. So if you have a channel that's going straight out like this, and then you put it like that, it will zoom around these edges, and then this area will now no longer have pressure. So you can put your well somewhere here, and this water won't go up into the rest of your fortress, which is great because we don't like that. Now, how do I get rid of that designation? Okay, back to work. Building our wall. I saw that there's a reinforced wall, which now scares me because I usually didn't have to worry about walls being destroyed, but I guess that might be an update. Might be part of the siege update. Sometimes it's better to just find things out as you deal with them. Okay. For some reason, this did not get built. So I'm going to do that. And then go down another layer. All right, we are here. We have 1-7. This is walled off. We will repeat again. We're going to be here. We're going to be here quite a while. Constructions, wall, place the wall. Gives you a lot of practice in the construction business, which is a useful thing to know. And it also helps that if you make that meeting area, if you remember at the top of the map, the meeting area was in like this well, this stairwell is in the center of the meeting area. That meeting area means that the people that haul the construction are like right there and ready to go. That's very helpful. Okay, keep going so that you don't have to keep calling them back from, somewhere far away. Construction, this, go down. You are also Aquifer. Oh boy. No. No. Not what I wanted to encounter at the moment. Where is it open or did I just discover it? Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't think I actually created an open area into a cavern, maybe, hopefully. Hopefully I can skirt it without having to deal with the cavern. Cavern's not the worst thing. Level 1. Oh, no, I did. There it is. All right, well, we found the caverns, and we're not through the aquifer yet, completely. Let me think about this. Okay, so I do need to... Let's build our construction wall. I'm going to put a wall there first. But is this... Okay, I think I have found an area with no aquifer. So if I can skirt around the cavern, I can build out... Do I want to build my fortress below the cavern? Not really. Game always throws a wrench in your plans. So I think maybe... I usually don't have this issue. I also don't think I have to put a wall here. This is an aquifer. So can I remove this stairwell? Oh wait, no. That's not what I want to do. Don't want to remove this full stairwell. I just want to remove... Let's see. I want to remove... Dig a stairwell. Designate an area. I want a stairwell up. But I don't want it to go down. Maybe I can just remove this stairwell. Can I do that? Wait. Wait, erase. Okay, hold on. Erase. And unconstruct this stairwell. Don't get stuck there. And you did get stuck there, didn't you? Oh, wait, no. Okay, wait. That. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I should be able to now build a wall here. No. No access. Okay, so that still has a stairwell down. What if I... All right, let's see what happens. We may have to solve... I may be putting myself into a bad situation. I'm going to remove this stairwell and then try to have a stairwell only going up. Which... Wait. Down. This is a downward stairway, so that goes down further. That goes only here. But can you still... What is this icon? I don't know what those icons under everyone are. That's a downward stairway, but I didn't... Can I mine this way? Can people get there? No. Okay, that would start blinking if people could get there. But this is a up-down stairway. I should be able to get there, but I need an up stairway. They removed the up stairway, but they didn't remove the down stairway. Let's build the up stairway again. Or is that... Are they not going to let us do that? Oh, that's mining, so I have to build constructions, stairs. So if I do that, are we happy? Spans at least 2 levels. That's what I did. Blocked at this location. I knew I would have a bit of an issue with this. So let's... Construction, stairs. Can I put it here? No. All right, how do I solve this problem? All right, I think I can... I think I can build a ramp. Can I build a ramp going up? No. Needs access to building materials. Ugh. How do I build... Can I build a floor over it? Paved road. Where's the floor? Floor. No? Do I just not have access to this anymore? That would be a shame. I have to think. What did I do? It's a downward stairway. This is an up-down stairway, but apparently I can't... It's not actually a down stairway. It goes down, but it doesn't really. I think this is an issue. At least 2 elevations, requires boulder block or wood. But I need it down there, which I don't have. So we need to figure out a way to get down here. Need an acceptable way to get down there. So what if I just do... I guess I can destroy this area. Where is it? Remove. I will remove this area. Okay. And then I need this area now to be dug out. Or no? Yeah, we'll dig that out. Okay. And then I'll construct more walls. No. Doing construction wall. There we go. You can build the wall there. And then constructions, more wall. That'll keep the area safe. Then in here, hopefully, I can build a construction. Maybe I think I can just build a stair down. So if I just do down 1, that should just be a down stairway. That means I should have access here. No, it does not. It's annoying. Okay, what if I... All right, so that's fine. That didn't work. Let's get rid of this. Can I... Oh, come on. Can I get rid of it? I can't get rid of it? No? Ah. All right. Can I build over it? I wonder what happens if I do that. All right, now I have a floor there. Does that mean I don't have a stairway there anymore? All right, so okay. That didn't work. The other option is to just build a ramp. Dig a ramp to this level going up. Dig a channel making a ramp on the level below. So let's put that there. We can't because that's the floor. Can I put it there? Okay. Now, do I have access? No. Build a ramp here. No. I swear this usually works. What if I now remove this construction? Now I'm left with the stairway down that goes apparently not down to the bottom. Oh. This is what I was afraid of. Okay, let's think about this. All right, so I need fresh area. I need to do this properly. I think I need fresh stone area. So no, I need to dig into stone and build down. So this all needs to be fresh area. So let's do this. We're gonna get rid of this construction. Okay. And that is almost fresh area, but this will be fresh area. So if I create a stairwell from this level down to this level, I should now have what I want. Yes, goes down, goes up. Good. Aquifer. Seriously? All right. Let's go back here, build the floor here again to block this off because I don't know what that was. And then constructions, floor, let's put another one there. All right, because that's where I was digging out. Now I have this new space that's actually correct, and then I still need to fix the aquifer around it. I can understand why this part right here would turn people off from the game. You could turn off aquifers. That would be a way to just not have to deal with it. But then you're going to struggle to get underwater water, which is also a problem. So, but you can deal with that problem easier than having to deal with this. So you can turn this whole thing off instead and not have to deal with it at all, which is what I did originally when I was, learning how to play the game. I would recommend doing that. You can still get water. You can designate a water area at the surface and you can get water that way. All right, so now we have this area that I think is safe. And I'm going to undesignate this. And we are going to hopefully build out a nice little area for dwarves over here. And then what are we digging into? Quartz? Claystone still? All right. I think we're safe except for that area. We'll see if that generates too much water or not. I can deal with that if it does. But finally, we're back. We're back down. Although apparently I can't really go too much further. There's still aquifer there. But I do have this area to work with. I usually like having, access to different Z levels. This is going to be aquifer. So if I put it here, I'm going to run into the caverns. It's kind of a difficult way to do things. Yeah, I think we're just gonna, maybe I'll go like up and then I'll build stuff in here instead. So let's build out our main entrance area where we're actually going to start to do some dwarfing. Like I usually like having, like the residential area above. And that's going to take some extra steps if we need to dig it all out first and put walls around it to make sure that the aquifer doesn't get in the way. All right, so we do have aquifer here. I have to deal with that. Okay, so let's put that there, dig this out, and hopefully that's all the aquifer I have to deal with. All right, so I think I'll leave this here. And then we'll stop here, continue on in another episode once I finish this construction. And this is basically a solid, this is a solid start to the game. Very solid start to the game. Okay, build our, I think I'm safe to do this way. Go back. Okay, wall. I think I'm safe to do this way. Put this here, put this here. I think that they're all going to have access. They're not going to get cut off. And that should take care of all of our aquifering, hopefully. I don't think, oh, nope, that's aquifer too. Let's see. So that's an aquifer piece. Let's see that. Or is this aquifer, or is it just that it's touching? It might just be touching water and then it's getting registered as aquifer. So let's put down the wall first. They can't place things diagonally. And that's the reason why you have some issues. How did you get there? How did you get in there? I have no idea how that spider spawned there. What are you killing? I mean, I want cave spiders. Cave spiders are good. But I don't know how it got in. Because usually it can't pass through the wall. Cave spiders are really good because you can... the silk is really important. If I could capture one, that's really cool. Oh, that's open space. But that still shouldn't explain how it got in there. I have no idea. That will be a mystery. I don't think the cave spider itself is aggressive. But there are some versions of cave spiders that are aggressive that you have to worry about. All right, good. So now it looks like we've dealt with the aquifer. I think this is just... Yeah, it's just saying it's aquifer because it's touching a piece of water, and that's okay. So we don't have to worry about that. Also, I like having our main area be 2 wides long because they can kind of dodge around one another. And I think that's going to cover it for this episode. Obviously, going to continue. This is one of my favorite games, and thanks everyone for taking the time to watch with me.